Alright, I'm gonna set this up. Here, I guess. I don't know, I want to be sitting down though. I wonder, would it be a crime if I sat beginning of sophomore year, which I'm in the spring semester of now. I think I was standing, and I put the camera on the same shelf. However, I think I'm just gonna leave it here. It's now January 2025. But it's especially weird because I was born in 2005, and so like 2025 is very obviously 20 years after that, and it's very odd to think that I will be turning 20 this year. Okay, it's gonna be an update just on me, so I apologize because I know it's not as interesting as like all these other people. It's more fun when there's more people involved. Is something wrong with... Wait. Is the battery gonna die? Shoot. Okay, you know what? This is perfect actually. So it's the next day now. What happened when I started the video on a whim yesterday, and I didn't realize that the battery on my camera was almost dead. I wanted to do a little mid-year update, I guess, in terms of mid-sophomore year update, start of spring semester. But it's just gonna be me because over winter break, I was around my friends, but I didn't think I was gonna be doing like an update. I thought I would just interview them at the end of sophomore year as a whole. So like after this spring. But I'm making this update for a few reasons that may or may not make sense. I'm not sure. But for one, I just wanted to, for myself, because as most of these videos are, they're mainly for myself, and I post them in the chance that maybe they'll entertain someone or interest someone. I'm gonna review my fall 2024 semester of sophomore year. So first of all, this semester was my best one yet, I have to say. And I think this coming spring, I think it's gonna be good too. So I just had my first week back for spring, and that was good. My schedule is better than last semester, which is really nice because last semester, yes, it was good, but my schedule kind of sucked. Like, just to give an example, on Fridays, I was scheduled for 6 hours of class in a row. Like, it was just not a good schedule. And this semester, I'm taking more hours, but I'm spending less time in class. I don't know how I managed to do that. I think it's just the type of class I'm taking, but anyway. In summary though, despite my schedule, fall semester was much better. I'm gonna tell you guys a few reasons why. Maybe you can incorporate this into your own life if you haven't already. I'm sure I might be behind on a few things. So if you've already done these things, fantastic. But these are some different things. So one of the reasons being that my living situation is really awesome now. Like, I'm living in the same exact apartment and unit that I was last year, but I have a different roommate. And let me tell you, that is a life changer, because my last roommate it just wasn't a good situation. Okay, like, it just was not a good situation, especially it being my freshman year. At a certain point, there were other people like living here too that were my roommate's friends or something, and like, I was not asked about any of this. Like, there's just a lot of things. There was just not a lot of respect for the fact that I was also living here. And it was a very frustrating and like sad situation. Where you live and whether it feels like sort of a home to you or not really affects your entire life. So, and it did not feel like that at all because I did not like it here. But this semester and this year, much better in general. I have a different roommate, like, we respect each other, and it's just so much better. And now I feel like happy to be here. I hang out in the living room. I used to literally just be in my room all the time because there were always people in the living room that I didn't know last year. And now this year, sophomore year, I'm in the living room all the time and watching TV and cooking and whatever, and not feeling like I have to get out of there. So it's really nice. Second of all, I've changed some of my eating habits. I wasn't eating as much as I should have been. And it wasn't like on purpose. I don't know, like I just didn't make it a priority. I didn't make myself food that often because I just didn't really care enough. I don't know, I'd be like hungry and then I was like, well, I want to do this. Or also too, I was kind of deterred from like going out in the kitchen, as I said earlier. It really affected everything. I just did not have a lot of energy, and I'm sure it affected my mood. Like it was not good. So this semester though, this fall semester, I made it a priority to make sure I was eating enough and that I like made sure I was having a meal at each time. You know, I wasn't just gonna be like, well, I don't feel like making myself food right now. Like, no, I had to make myself food. I started incorporating more things into my diet, like things that I already liked, but I just didn't feel like putting the effort in to cook for myself. So I've been eating more protein and increasing how much I eat. And it's definitely made me feel better. And I have more energy. So food has changed things. Third of all, I've been more social. Okay, I've been more freaking social. And was it easy at first? No. So I didn't really have many people that I would consider like sort of friends or anything. Like I had a few obviously, but not anyone that I was like consistently hanging out with. And this past semester, I joined more things, okay? Like I do more stuff with the student television station in general, TSTV here at UT. And I do more stuff with them. I went to meetings for that pretty much every week. And we would film stuff pretty much every week and have like an episode night, recording night, whatever. For one of the shows I was doing, and I still am gonna do this semester, we would meet pretty much like 2, almost 3 times a week, depending on what we were filming or whatever. And I feel like that's really benefited me to get out of my apartment and talk to people and like being around the same people, because I think the issue too, especially as a freshman, most of my classes were really huge and I was never sitting next to the same person each class. So it wasn't really like I got to know anyone, you know? I would just briefly talk to people, but like I never really was around the same people constantly. But now I am, with these like extracurricular type things. I know I wanted to get more involved in the student television station, but I wasn't sure which shows. The difference was that this semester I was more open to trying it, and it was a really good decision. Because those ones that I was just trying, I was like, I don't know, like now they're my favorite things to go to, and like some of the best people I've met so far at UT. Anyway, that I think is one of the really big things. Okay, this is more of a personal thing, I guess. Well, I'm not gonna get into like details or anything, but like I feel like I did spend a lot of time my freshman year and like even the summer after freshman year for a little bit of it focusing on what I didn't like about myself. And also just like being really hung up on things. Cause I'll be honest, like it is a very big change to not be around people that you know everyone, like in high school. In high school, I mean, yeah, there were like 700 people in my class, but I was pretty, like in all my classes, I pretty much knew everyone's name. And like, and that doesn't happen now. Like I do not know everyone's name. And most of those people I've been in the same school with for years, since like some of them since elementary school. And you have a very established friend group, and so to go to college, it's a very big change, and some people are better at dealing with that, and I think I wasn't at first during my freshman year, and I was more just upset at how I felt like I was losing everyone, I guess, if that makes sense. And that's not really a good way to look at things. I wanted my old life back. You know, I didn't want to move on. I didn't want to get older and meet new people and not talk to the people I knew before as much or whatever. But you know, that's out of my control. Like, if you're put in a situation where you live somewhere else, like you have to like sort of let go a little bit. I'm not saying you have to cut those people off, not hold on to them to the point where it's like you're not allowing yourself to realize that maybe you'll be closer to some different people and newer people than the ones you were close to before. And that's a little throwback. That was what my intro to film production class, that was my final project, parting to join. That was what that was about, pretty much. Like there are some friends that I had in high school that I feel like I don't really talk to much anymore. But some of the ones, like, you know, I do talk to fairly often, and like when we're on break or whatever, we all see each other at home. So like, there's still a part of my life, you know, it's just not like I'm seeing them every day like I used to. And now there are other people that I do see more often, and I'm allowing myself to make those friends as well. This fall 2024 semester, I focused on not focusing on the things that were what I was upset about, if that makes sense. And that is really difficult to do. And it took me a whole freaking year or more, actually. Once I started to realize that some of the things I was upset about, for example, my appearance, really disliking the whole of me, I guess, on the outside, my appearance, physically. It's okay to be upset about something, but when you're really like hating yourself for it, and when it's something that you can't control, and second of all, what I've really started to take to heart, I guess, and I feel like it's more ingrained in me than it used to be, is that like how you look or whatever is the least interesting thing about you. And I was told that by someone, and I was like, true, you know, and I kept reiterating that to myself. And I feel like it's finally really gotten there. I stopped being concerned about the things that like are just how I look, you know, things that you can't directly change, not quickly at least. When I stopped focusing on all those things, I feel like I accepted myself and liked myself much better. And it wasn't because anything changed about how I looked, it was because of how I was viewing myself. So that's a bit more of a personal change, I guess. I feel like that was one of the major causes, especially during the summer, of a lot of anguish, I guess, that I had. A lot of sadness was just me wanting to look how I used to, or like just thinking that I looked so much worse, was just really wanting things. And I stopped focusing on what I wanted in terms of physical changes. I started to focus on like just what I do like about myself and about my life, and how much, whether I like my physical appearance or not, functioning wise, I'm fine, you know, and that's pretty much what mainly matters. And I'm very lucky, you know, because not everyone gets that. There are a lot of different issues you can encounter or deal with just within your own like body, you know, like it's very unfair. And so I realized instead of worrying about these things that like really don't affect my health, they don't affect my functioning, and they really should not be ruining my day, when a lot of times they did. That I think was probably the biggest change. And I feel like over the summer was definitely when I started to get better about that. Sophomore year, I feel like I noticed a lot how much better things were, how much love there is to be found or to be had or to be felt or whatever. There are a lot of things that I love in my life, and it's not like I didn't before, but I didn't really focus on that before. And now I am, and excited about just like, you know, my future, and like how good things are for me right now. And the thing is, I probably wouldn't be as grateful about that if I hadn't experienced some of the really worst periods. I am a little grateful in the sense that now I can realize how much better things are, and it makes me even happier. The biggest changes that really helped me are ones that I had to do myself. And were they hard? Yes. And it took me a really long time to realize them and fix them. But here I am. So basically, I'm making this video to remind myself, okay, if I'm ever having future me, if I'm ever having a really difficult time, think about these things. I am not even very far into my life, okay? Like I'm this is still the early days, okay? But I'm about to be 20 in a few months, and as much as I dread the fact, like, being in my 20s just seems odd to me, because I thought I'd be a teenager forever. This is a new decade. It's a new decade. The point is, it does indeed get better. And that is the most annoying phrase ever, and I've heard it a million freaking times, and I hate it. But I have realized it a lot lately, because I really thought for a long time that there was, like, how can things get better from here? But no, things did, and I'm really grateful to be living my life. Long-winded, but basically this is a check-in about how I'm doing, and how I'm doing is great, thankfully, and I'm really happy about that. I know if I ever get to a lower point again later on, I mean, I'm hoping not, but obviously life has ups and downs, I can come back to this and be like, okay, remember how happy I got to be, and that was after I thought that I could never be that happy again, and I did. So there's proof. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. The grass is always greener. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this. If you did, thank you, future Sylvia, if you're watching this, for getting as far as you have. So anyway, let me do I'll stand up, I guess. Okay. Oh, also another thing that changed, I got contacts. Okay, and that wasn't like a thing that contributed to my happiness. However, I think I got the confidence to wear contacts because of these other things that got better. I had glasses for a really long time, and they were like kind of part of me, and I was really scared to not have them, and now I'm really happy that I made the change. So anyway, to the start of a fantastic spring 2025 semester from yours truly.